Well, it's been a long time since I did an update, so I just kind of wanted to check in. We had a baby. We didn't know it was going to be a boy. We didn't do the ultrasound stuff. We had a baby boy, so uh, if we dropped the ball on one of you folks, sorry about that. But things have been real crazy and busy around here, so we haven't been able to get any videos put up in a while. But we now have two girls and two boys. The girls are older, and then the boys are the two younger. We have a 2-year-old, and now we have the newborn. So pretty excited about that. Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be a boy. It was just a surprise, and super pumped to have that dynamic in the family. And I had a feeling it was going to be a boy from day one, so we came up with boy names, but we didn't come up with girl and girl names. And so it happens it was a boy, and that's been twice in a row. Actually, that's been 3 times in a row that's happened now, where yeah, you know, listen to that little still small voice and it says you're gonna have a boy, and it was true 3 times. So anyways, we have 4 now. We have two girls and 2 boys, so super pumped about that. And so I just wanted to do a little bit of an update and let you know what we're up to. We've been real busy. Everything's are starting to slowly wind down now, so I have a little bit more time. But at any rate, I wanted to show you something that's a pretty cool update that we did to the old Ford here. This is our main service vehicle. It's a 76 Highboy, but we're in the process of trying to find a new dump because this thing is just too small sometimes. You know, a lot of times we're on a job site, the customers want wood chips, so it makes it easy because we could just drop them right there. So it's got a custom dump on it. Let's check it out here. I'll show it to you. Okay, so we got the hood popped here. So we've done a lot to this truck to keep it running. I kind of like the old trucks, and this is kind of why here. I mean, look at this. This is your fill pump. Boom, right on the top there. And if you use non-ethanol fuel, you don't have to worry about vapor lock. So the power steering was just leaking like crazy on this thing, all over the driveway, on customers and stuff, and it was just embarrassing. So we put in this is pretty epic right here. This electronic power steering kit. So this is amazing. This makes all the difference in the world. It comes with a dial inside here that you can dial up or dial down, a knob to dial up or dial down your power steering. So it can be more sensitive or less sensitive. Yeah, and check out the linkage there. How you get it installed is it goes right to the pitman arm there, and then all these linkages allow to expand or contract. So when you're putting it on your main steering arm there, this extends, and then it has a locking screw so you can lock it in. So install on this thing was amazing. It was so easy to put in. So there's a good picture of the original power steering there on the left, with all the hydraulic fitting hoses and all that, and it didn't seem to matter what I did. It always leaked hydraulic fluid everywhere, all over the driveways, and it was pretty gross. And then the one on the right there is the replacement Moog that we put on there aftermarket, and now we got no more leaks. And this is the extra components there after we're done with the install, the power steering pump and the bracket and the steering arm there. Now it opened up quite a bit of space underneath the hood after we were done. It makes it really easy to get to the fuel pump now, and you know, all your filters and all that good stuff. We had a really bad experience trying to buy new equipment. It's kind of hard sometimes buying new equipment. We drove all the way down to California to pick up a new dump truck. So we drove all the way down to Redding, California, and then stayed in a hotel overnight. And I paid Logan to come with me to drive. And before we got there, I had corresponded with the fellow who was selling the truck. And the funny thing is the ad said, you know, serious buyers only. So okay, so I was serious. I texted the fella and said, hey, I've got cash. I'll come down this weekend if you're ready, if you got papers and all that. He said, yeah, I'll have it ready. And so we drove down there, and then the fella tried to upsell me. So anyway, we stayed at a hotel overnight in Redding, and we drove 2 more hours further south, and then pulled into the yard where he had the truck for sale. And he's like, oh yeah, that truck's in a different yard, but I've got this one. And then he points to this truck and you know, tried to upsell me. It was actually about 7,000 more than the one that we had already agreed to that I'd come down to check out. But he was like, oh yeah, that one's not ready, but I've got this one ready. And then so I was like, are you kidding me, dude? I drove all the way down here and he said you'd have it. He goes, well, let's go to the other yard. We could look at it over there. So we get to the other yard, and long story short, he didn't have the truck there. The one truck that he did have was like full of trash. There was just literally trash inside the cab, all filled in the back of the dump. The dump didn't work. Anyway, so that was frustrating. Dude let me drive for 8 hours to come down there, stay in a hotel, and then drive another 8 hours to come back and pay an employee to be there the whole time, just to stand me up. And yeah, so you can probably tell why he's out of business. The business was going out of business, so they needed to sell their equipment. So I guess it's a good point, a good lesson, you know, if you're gonna buy something or you're gonna do some services, make sure that the people are legit and they have like their, you know, their accredited dealer and all that stuff, you know. I always preach that you should make sure that a guy's got his contractor license before you do work. So why wouldn't I do the same thing with a dealer when I'm buying equipment? Anyway. It's like better than my Corolla. The steering on that thing is amazing now. So smooth. Nicer than your car? What car do you have?
2003 mishap Volkswagen.
So it drives better than a 2003 Volkswagen now, right? That's what I'm talking about, dude. This is freaking cool. And listen to that, no whine. Here, turn it all the way to the left so I can see. We replaced it with a stock Boog. Big shout out to Lebanon Towing. They actually did a really good job of going over this vehicle. They towed it. They gave me a discount for towing it to their shop. And then, yeah, they actually fixed it. They took the time to actually fix it. And then check this out. You got a little, here's your knob here to adjust. So you didn't even have it all the way up. Well, yeah, you did. So that's all the way up and that's all the way down. It's night and day compared.